everyone, it's Hunter Spaid here, and I am finally doing a video. And I decided that I'm going to do a video of the things that I made at Gayle's retreat that I was able to go to once again this last month. And gosh, it was just so wonderful. Not just because I was surrounded by these incredibly talented women, but just, you know, it's just really good for my spirit and my soul. We are laughing and we're eating great food together and just being in this atmosphere where the creativity is just nonstop. So with that, I was all over the place. I haven't crafted in a while. As most of you know, this was probably the most difficult year I've ever had. My mama passed away last April, and it just was hard on me. There's too many firsts without her. And so I just had to step back and couldn't be in my head. And that means when I'm in my studio, I'm usually crafting kind of in a quiet area. I do listen to music every once in a while, but normally I just kind of let my thoughts run freely in my head, and it just wasn't good for me at that time. I was doing some creative stuff, I have to say. My daughter and I were making our Christmas gifts, so that was kind of fun and creative. And then another thing that my husband and I were doing was home improvements. We decided, well, this was kind of one of those things that we've always wanted to do since we moved into our home 23 years ago. We wanted to replace the flooring. 23 years later, we finally got to do it. My husband retired in November from UPS. He's no longer a UPS driver and delivering packages. He, well, that's another story. He has a job already, so retirement didn't last very long. But during retirement, we thought, okay, we're going to do some little improvements around our home. So replacing the floor was one. We put laminate flooring down, vinyl wood, and we painted the entire house and changed our vanity and the light fixtures. And I love how it turned out. But the process of it all, I don't think you have to worry about another cute little couple doing home improvements on TV, because it did not come naturally for us. It was fun, more for me than it was for Rich. It was a little stressful because he thought he was going to have all this time to help me do this. And of course we did it all on our own. But his dream job landed in his arms 2 months after retirement. So he is now a ranch manager at one of our friends' ranch that is only 30,000 acres out here in Montana along the river. And he is so happy. He gets to do what he normally does on his weekends, is hike around and check out the wildlife. And yes, he cuts grass and he does some other manager stuff for the property. But yeah, needless to say, he is happy. I have no idea where I was going with that. That kind of just, I'm rambling. And you know me, I don't have the gift of gab, but apparently that is happening. So, all right, let's go back to the retreat. This is the stuff that I made. It took a little while for me to get going just because because I haven't played in my craft room so much. So, I don't even know where I'm going with this. I think I should just show you what I have, okay? The very first project I did, I just used what I already had in my scraps. So I made this little guy. For the closure, I used this scissors. I got in a big bag of this from Costco. Was it Costco? No, from Amazon, sorry. And I wanted to share with my friends at the retreat, so I had these little scissors with, just wrapped around. I just did some layering. Like I said, I wasn't sure what I was going to be working on I saw everybody else was just like zipping and going a mile a minute, and I felt like I was flip-flopping. Flip-flopping is a term that we use at our house because I had asked my daughter Shelby to help us weed in the garden, and so we had like a little spot here and over here and over here, and my husband would say, I don't know how much Shelby got done because she was just flip-flopping to all the different places, and that's basically what I was doing, I felt. So with this was a little folio that I made with lots of layers, die cuts that I had already cut out, and I used my digital download that I have in my Etsy shop with my photography, and this letter is one of my my grandfather, Stonewall Atkins, and this is a ledger from my grandfather, Hunter, on my dad's side. This was my grandmother's father, and this was my father's father. So that was kind of fun to implement my artwork with some history stuff. I did add some tea dye paper because, like I said, first it was a folio, and I just like, well, I need it to be more meaningful and useful, is what I wanted to say here. And on the back here is an image of my papa. So this is John Dundas Hunter, my papa, and he is probably, I'm gonna say 5 or 6 years old, and the cutest thing. So this is in my grandmother's house in a frame by the bathroom, and right underneath it is a picture of my little brother, John Boy. He's not little, he's 50 now. And he's a big mountain of a man. He's a big Swede. But when he was 5, my mom had gotten us professional photo of him in his little cowboy outfit, and so my dad and him are together in the house in a frame. So it was just so fun to use this image of my papa. And here's another picture that I took of these bisons. I called this the Big, Bad, and Ugly. And so this was the very first project I made. I was slow going, but I'm really happy of how it turned out. And so this just is a simple little closure by using these scissors and this ribbon. Next, because I have a whole bag of these scissors, I did the same thing and used my sewing machine, stitched around the tag for the closure, put a little eyelet here so the string then can wrap around like so. And I have tea-dyed paper where I just randomly stamped some script printing, had some little pockets here. So I definitely evolved a little bit from the first journal to this one. Here's the center of the signature, and I love to hide my stitching of the signature in this pocket. In my other videos you'll see how I do that, but adds another little surprise in your journals. A couple more pockets here. And then in the back I have this war ID passport kind of thingy. I sandwiched them together, so there's 2 pieces, the front and the back, and I sandwiched them together, and then I put, I don't know if you can see, let's see what I need to do. I put a little bit of muslin or gauze, I guess that's what it is, gauze, just to make it look more authentic, like it was made out of cloth and stitched. So if this is something that you would like, I have this on my web page, and it's a free digital download. It will print out the front and the back. Here it says inactive, and I made it so it has some texture by using my pokey tool. and poking through the inside that says inactive. That way you have that texture on the back. Now, a few of you have already messaged me saying that somebody has taken this and is selling it on their Etsy, which is fine. She said that she changed the color or brightened it or something. It doesn't matter. Anyway, you can get it for free on my website under free downloads. And there's a couple other things there too. But if this is just something that you would like to make and have in your stash of things to put in your journal, it is there provided for you. So that was the second thing that I had made. I'm feeling okay, things are getting better. I had some scraps from making these, so I made just one more little folio, and now that I look at it, I must have made it so I could sew in some more signatures in this, because there's definitely a spine, and it's on some really thick cardboard. So it looks like this is just one other project that's incomplete that I need to work on. But I was happy to play with my inks and to use up my scraps and just kind of get the ball rolling. So from here, I think I made, oh, I know what it was. So our friend Catherine that Gayle has shared her friend with, she is, I think if you've seen Gayle's video of our interview, we talk about Catherine. And Catherine is this amazing woman that everything she touches is beautiful. And I mean everything. In the kitchen, I already talked about what an artist she is in the kitchen. She is just, everything that she touches is just beautiful, tastes good, is appealing to the eye. Well, she was painting, and these are ones that she had gifted to me, these sweet little houses. And she follows somebody on Instagram, and I forget his name. I started following him, but anyways, he drew these houses out and then he water paints them. So she was doing that, and I was just like, okay, those are cute. I need to know about those. So I did a few with her. So this is the first one I painted, and I haven't sketched in so long, and it was fun. I really enjoyed it, and I loved how this one turned out. So I had to do another one. So this was my second one. Maybe let's see, let's put this, maybe it's easier, and maybe it's just easier if I'm not holding it, but that is something I haven't done before, and just looking at it, it makes me want to play with some more. Super fun. So she, like I said, she gifted these to me, as well with these, where she did like a watercolor palette and just sketched with a nice fine tip pen. And here's another watercolor. I love these, and can you imagine this being on a cover of a journal or on a pocket or a belly band? Yeah, she totally inspired me. So after doing these watercolors, I decided I wanted to play with some mixed media. So I made some tags, and it was just from, once again, scraps that I used distress sprays. I splattered black paint and white paint, used some washi tape, and then did a stitch with some messy stitching on the side. And I was just doing some random ones, random numbers, I guess I should say. Different colors, and different effects. Then I decided, instead of changing all the numbers, just to stick with 406. 406 is our area code here in Montana, and it's for the whole state of Montana. So I ended up making a whole bunch of these. And I know I'm going to maybe add some other elements, whether it's flowers, butterflies, I don't know, different die cuts maybe. I'm not sure yet. I guess when I start using them in my journals, something will pop at me. And then Corey Dahman is just like, oh, I had just had an idea when I looked at this. So she ended up embossing the front of it. And then she ended up putting, oh, what is that? Baking paper on the back side that she had tea dyed. And I'm like, yep, that's pretty. So I might have to do that with some of those as well, because look how pretty and shiny. So 406 is area code in Bozeman, or in Montana, sorry. All right, so from here, I mean, really, I was flip-flopping around. I was using scraps, and as you know, we all have those strips of tea-dyed paper that we cut. So I like to tape them together, and then I stitch them. And I can use this as pockets, tuck spots. I can stamp on them, just, you know, whatever. I did fold some edges and made some pockets, so when I do make my journals, I already have them. I stitch around, and then, yeah, I just stitch around. These are not inked, but they're ready. They're ready to go. And I just do one big strip. It really cuts down on the time when I do it that way. Here are some more. These, I use some stenciling and just some random script stamping here. And these can easily be turned into pockets. So as you can see, I have lots of those, and it doesn't look like much, but everything is time consuming. So I tape them all together on the back side, the two strips, and then I do the stitching, and it just adds a lot to your journals when you add to them. It's just those little things that truly add a lot. Alright, then I had to play with a few more of my little scraps, and these you're going to be like, okay, really? But how cute will these be to put some thread, maybe a butterfly, some lace, I don't know, you just put them on your journal pages. Maybe it will be actually put on a tag or even on a pocket. I mean, who knows? But at least they're pre-made, and I don't have to take the time to recreate something. They're using my scraps, and they're ready. So I was very pleased with this. And you're like, really? You have a whole retreat? Spend a whole week up there and you're messing with scraps, but it made me happy. And you can visit and drink your cocktails and have some giggles, and these will definitely pay off later on. Let's see here. Yep, still with using my scraps. I brought some stamps that I have not used yet. So even though I have not been crafting a lot, apparently I'm still shopping. I love these little jars. They're a little stamp, and I'm just stamping them once again on a piece of strip scrap and doing a little stitching. And these are going to be little pockets that I can put on my page and have a little tuck spot. So anything that I made, I kind of shared with everybody else just because I wanted them to have something from our little get-together that meant so much to me. Like I said, it was so good for me to be around these other gals that were so creative and made me laugh. let's see. So, of course, since I was with the Queens of Clusters, I made quite a few clusters. Just once again, you're going to be like, this poor girl, all she does is have some scraps. But I had so much fun just playing with them. Yes, I'm still going to have to decorate them, but at least I got some stitching in, and I did use some fibers and different types of papers. So all I have to do, let's see, is either, add a die cut. Of course, we could always add a doxy, huh, Pat? And the other people love doxies. Patricia, I guess I should say. Or, of course, we can, add a bird. Just anything. I will not complete these until I know what I'm using it for. But in the meantime, I'm just happy that I have all these ready and waiting for me. Okay, are you ready to see some other stuff now? All right, that was me flip-flopping around. Now let's go ahead and let me show you some of the journal covers I made. And they're all in different areas of being completed or started. I don't even know how to say that. Maybe I better scan this, zoom out a little bit. So I am going to be putting in my Etsy shop some journal covers that you can make all the journal inside. So it's just the bones. And then I'm also going to be doing naked journals. So all you have to do is pimp them out. And of course, I want to put in full completed journals. So these are the covers I made. I still need to reinforce the covers, but I got the pages texturized and then stitched around. I will reinforce the covers, like I said. Some are going to have signatures, some are not. So these are just a few that are in this stage of completion. Here's one that is stitched and just needs to be adhered to the spine. And then I have this box over here. You're going to be like, okay, so this is how you do it. I don't know if I can even show you. Let's see. All right, so these are already distressed, cut to size. All I need to do is stitch them. So these are the pattern paper with the cardstock. And I have so many ones here. And like I said, I'm going to have these in my Etsy shop with just the cover. I'm going to have some naked journals with these. And I'm also going to have journals that are totally completed. So if you're going to get a journal cover just like this, you can decorate the whole front and the insides all by yourself. So lots of layers. It is just the way I do things. So if I'm in a, in the idea of I'm going to make this journal for my friend, or I'm going to do this for that, the journal cover is already completed. I just need to pimp it out and design it and make it fun and come to life to its own little neatness. So yeah, I have a lot started, and I just, like I said, I just need to sew these and adhere these and reinforce the cover. But I love the color schemes on every one of these. I am just like so excited, and even though I was flip-flopping around, I have a lot of that hard work already taken care of. All right, done with that part. You're probably ready to see some real things. So here's yet another journal cover. This journal cover I made with the front cover shorter than the back. I have all this fun little messy stitching here. So I'm really excited of the possibilities. I want to see the different signatures and the different layers on here, and different patterns as well. So I'm kind of excited about this one. Here are two more that I call them signature exposed spines. So the spine is shorter than the cover. That way the signatures will show right here. I have the seam binding as the closure already attached because I did some sewing. And I have two of those, just two different color schemes. And I just used my scraps once again. And I am excited about how these are going to turn out. I love exposing the signatures in these journals. So, did that. And from there, okay, I'm really excited about this one. So, one morning I got up early, but I wasn't really ready to get up and start my day, so I was just kind of laying in bed and let my thoughts go through, and this is what came up with me. So I have these digital downloads that it's not on cardstock, they're just on regular paper, and so I adhered it to some cardstock and then stitched around, and I wanted this to be the signature. Or, no. I'm getting ahead of myself. I wanted it to be the spine. So I did that to, not just with the nest and egg book cover, I also did it with an envelope. And this is what I got. And I am so excited about it. This was a die cut that I borrowed from Corey. And since then I have found this die cut and I've just ordered it. It's not in yet because I love the simplicity of it and how crisp and clean. And anywho, I attached the die cut with glue, and then I did some alcohol inks on some Scotch tape, adhered this, made this, I'm thinking I'm going to have like a hole punch here to put some seam binding so I can have a closure. So I just wanted to kind of reinforce that, and I just love the layout. This is the front cover, the spine, and the back. And on the inside is this butcher paper that I have. And that is another thing that I want to put into my Etsy shop. It is the mountain ranges of the Rocky Mountains. But I'm so excited about this. Isn't this just gorgeous? So, yeah, I'm pretty excited and proud of this one. And then I think my last thing to show you is this other journal that is also a signature exposed spine. And I actually have signatures in here. It's not stitched in, but isn't that fun when you can see those sticking out, and the colors just go well with the colors of the journal cover. So here is that. Let me scoot in a little bit. Lots of layers. I just kind of did a zigzag stitch around, added a die cut, added some grommets. I still need to reinforce the cover because it's quite flimsy. Just did some die cuts. This is another little printout I had, and oh my gosh, I should show you about this paper. So this is packing paper, and I'm going to also add that in my Etsy store. It is such a super lightweight, it has lots of fun sound. It tea dyes and coffee dyes really nicely, but I just love how thin it is. So I think I'm going to be putting this in my shop for about 20 pages, just because I love to use it for layers. It takes the ink really nicely, it folds and tears, and yeah, I just love it. So this is the inside. Like I said, here is the signature. I just chose colors that complemented the cover since it is going to be exposed. And basically this is a naked journal. Oh, I did use one of my pockets that I pre-sewed, but it is definitely not complete yet. But I'm excited about the possibilities of this. And I'm so excited to show you. Like, after me flip-flopping all over the place, I finally have something, you know, something solid to show you guys. And that is it. I am just super happy that you stopped by. I'm happy that I have something to show. And if you like this kind of stuff, please subscribe to my channel, and of course leave a comment. And actually, I would really like to know if the things I suggested that I'm going to be putting in my Etsy shop, if it appeals to you, and if you have some other ideas that I do that you wish was in my Etsy shop, please give out a shout. Like I said, I really love having a connection and a relationship with my people that love art. And well, I guess that's it. I'm so excited. So my next video, I'm actually going to be posting what I made at the last retreat. That just shows how far behind I am. But the last retreat, I was more productive on the journal making than this time. So please come back. And once again, thank you for taking the time to watch my video. And, well, thank you. So this is all for now. Until later, warmest of wishes. Bye.